Welcome back, and thank you for joining us for part two of Would You Like Fries with That? This part of the Nutrition Life in the Fast Food Lane series presented by Employee Wellness and the Wellness Center. Again, I'm your host, Paul Moore, and I'd like to thank you for joining us. What we're going to look at today is we're going to compare some nutrition options from some different restaurants and some different choices. But first we want to look at things that we should know before we go. So if we know we're going to eat fast food, if we know that it's going to be an option, we really want to prepare ourselves ahead of time and look at the things that are important to us. So the first key is to look up nutritional information ahead of time. We know what our favorite menu items are at these restaurants, and if we don't know what they are, then this is a good way to find out what healthy options may be or what some may not be. So we want to look up nutrition information ahead of time. We want to do this so that we can compare potential choices or options that we'll have, and then so that we can make an informed decision when we get there. This will also eliminate any spontaneous ordering. If we have a plan of what we're going to do, then we just stick with it when we get there. Now, where can we find this information? Any of our restaurant websites are going to have an option for nutrition, for menu, nutrition information. Generally, we can find this in a PDF format, or some of the restaurants will have kind of meal planners where you can select your menu options or your choices, and then it will pull up the information specifically for those choices. The restaurants themselves also have printed material with this information on it. For example, McDonald's has some of theirs in the wrappers and in the boxes with the sandwiches, but at that point in time, it's going to be too late to make a decision. So we really want to look at that information ahead of time. There's other websites out there that exist that have the information as well, but you're going to get the best information through the restaurant website or the printed material if you have access to that. Okay, so let's begin and take a look at some choices. Okay, we've got Subway, and the choices between the Subway Philly cheesesteak and the tuna salad. And what would be helpful is if you have your things to know, the total amount of calories in a day, fat in a day, protein, fiber, sodium, those things that we looked at already, it'll put these numbers into perspective for you as how they fit into your meal plan. And so if we reveal the answers, the Philly cheesesteak has 520 calories. It has 18 grams of fat, as opposed to the tuna salad that has 530 calories and 30 grams of fat. So you can see the calories are obviously very close, but the tuna salad has got 12 grams of fat more than the Philly cheesesteak. Generally speaking, this is a surprise to a lot of people. Tuna, we generally associate as being healthy. But you can see in this case it's actually got more fat or higher fat content than the Philly cheesesteak. So again, a lot of this is about education, it's about awareness. A lot of times people will make the mistake in trying to make the right decision, but just because they don't know the information, they make an unhealthy choice. So this is a great example of making sure we know the information ahead of time. Okay, next we have Jersey Mike's. We've got the barbecue beef sandwich, and we've got the Chipotle turkey. And so what do we think is going to be the better choice in these options? As we reveal the information, the barbecue beef has got 710 calories. It's got 16 grams of fat. The turkey has got 865 calories and 50 grams of fat. Again, probably a big surprise for a lot of people that the turkey is higher in calories. It's also significantly higher in fat. And again, so if we don't know and we're just making it based on what we would think, we would probably think the turkey is the healthier option, but you can see based on the numbers, again, it's got a little over 150 calories more than the barbecue, as well as about 44 grams of fat more than the barbecue beef. So another interesting option there. Moving along to pizza, we can compare a couple from Papa John's. We've got the spinach Alfredo pizza, and we've got the works. Which one do we think is going to be a healthier option here? You can see per slice for the Papa John's spinach Alfredo pizza, it's got 200 calories, it's got 9 grams of fat. Again, that's per slice. So if we're getting pizza, remember to multiply based on how many slices we would eat. So as one slice has 200 calories and 9 grams of fat, 2 slices is going to have 400 calories and 18 grams of fat. Or if we had 3 slices, we're looking at 600 calories and 27 grams of fat. Comparing that to the works, you can see per slice, it's got the same 9 grams of fat per slice. It's got 230 calories. So a little bit higher on the calorie count here, 30 calories more. Again, the same amount of fat. All right, moving on to Chick-fil-A, we've got the char-grilled chicken club versus the original chicken sandwich. If we look at the information, you can see the char-grilled chicken club has 410 calories, has 12 grams of fat. The original chicken sandwich has 430 calories, it has 17 grams of fat. So we've got 20 calories more and we have 5 grams of fat. The thing to keep in mind with both of these is that this is just the sandwich itself. So if we added cheese to the original chicken sandwich, we would add calories and fat accordingly. If we added mayonnaise to the sandwich, so this is just the base sandwich. Any additional sauces or condiments that we're going to add are going to add to these numbers. Okay, if we look at chicken nuggets, we can see the Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets on the left versus the Wendy's chicken nuggets on the right. We can see for an 8 count chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A, it's got 260 calories, it has 12 grams of fat. The Wendy's chicken nuggets have 450 calories and 29 grams of fat. That is for a 10 count, so keep that in mind. But again, you can compare for just 2 more. You can see that the grams of fat, more than double. So we've got 260 calories for the chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A for 8 count, 450 for the 10 count, and again 29 grams of fat compared to 12. Again, if we add sauce or we use sauce with either of these from either restaurant, we're going to need to add calories and fat according to what sauce we use and how much of that sauce we use. Another comparison from Wendy's, the grilled chicken versus the crispy chicken Caesar wrap. The grilled chicken sandwich has 360 calories and 7 grams of fat compared to the wrap at 430 calories and 25 grams of fat. So you can see in this example, we've got a little under 100 calories more for the crispy chicken Caesar wrap, but the amount of fat is more than tripled comparing the chicken wrap to the grilled chicken sandwich, going from 7 to 25. Okay, let's take a look at Hardee's, some of the possible side items here. We have onion rings and fries. 320 calories for the fries with 14 grams of fat. 410 calories for the onion rings with 24 grams of fat. So the fries are going to be, in this example, a little bit of a better option. 320 calories compared to 410, and 14 grams of fat is compared to 24 grams of fat. If we look at a couple dessert options, these are from McDonald's. We've got a McFlurry and the milkshake. The McFlurry has 580 calories and 17 grams. The milkshake, you can see on the right, has 440 calories and 10 grams of fat. So again, in this option, you can see that both the number of calories and the grams of fat are going to be lower in the milkshake versus the McFlurry. So again, a couple choices for dessert type items from McDonald's. So just remember to put all this together here, kind of as a summary. Remember to think about from what we looked at in a previous net learning of how many calories we need in a day. Okay, keep that in mind, so you can have a perspective as to how these fast foods fit or don't fit into your plan and your needs. A big key here is to look up nutritional information before you go. Again, we want to have a plan, and we want to be able to execute that plan when we get to our restaurant. So we take the guesswork out of it. We have a plan, we stick with the plan, and we're going to get the best, healthiest option that way. The next one, it says, is this item going to get me what I want from my lunch? Remember the things that we looked at in the first part of this series. Is it going to be something that gives us sustained energy? Is it going to make us feel full? How does that fit in? Is what we're ordering meet with what we want to get out of the meal? And then lastly, the last two, lighten it up if possible. Remember, any of your mayonnaise, your condiments, your cheese. Remember, all those things are going to add calories and add fat to the totals for the meal. So if we can lighten it up at all, it can potentially make a difference. Remember, we can order a smaller size to do that as well. And so we just want to look for ways to make it a little bit lighter if possible. Last, we want to make it a treat. We should enjoy our food and enjoy eating. If at all possible, we don't want to rush. We don't want to eat in the car. We want to make mealtime as enjoyable experience as possible. So keep these tips in mind before you go out for your next fast food meal. And again, I thank you for joining us, and we look forward to presenting more information in the future on this Life in the Fast Food Lane series presented by Employee Wellness and the Wellness Center.